Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining our TCSL virtual Sunday morning meditation. Today's meditation is a mindfulness meditation, and it's titled, It's Like This. So at this time, I invite you to close your outer eyes, to turn your awareness inward, allowing the outer world to fall away for the time being. Let's begin by taking a few moments to simply settle in. Settle into this moment, into this space. Allow yourself the opportunity to be here now. For the next little while, you are engaging in the process of disengagement. So for the next few moments, allow yourself to come into stillness, to let go of the doing. Allow yourself to unwind into a state of simple being. Sitting or laying comfortably in your present space, be present. Be right where you are in this exact moment. Check in with your body for any areas of tension, then consciously release that tension. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your jaw to relax. Get comfortable. Release tension in your arms, your hands, allowing whatever you are sitting or laying on to fully support you. Relax your pelvis, hips, thighs, uncross ankles, relax your feet. You are a body vessel ready to receive and become aware of your own healing breath, fully conscious, fully aware of nothing other than this precious, magnificent moment that you're giving yourself. Take a few deep, full, intentional breaths through the nose. Inhale deeply, filling your lungs. Hold it for a moment and then release slowly and completely through your nose with a slight constriction in your throat, so the sound reminds you of a calm ocean meeting the shore. Repeat this 3 times with me. Take note of the sensation of your breathing. As you inhale, know that you are inhaling. When you exhale, know that you are exhaling. You've been effortlessly, spontaneously breathing since the moment of your birth, but perhaps have been too busy to notice on a regular basis. This is simply a moment in which we stop to notice. This is breathing. Continue to take full breaths, deep, nourishing breaths. With each breath, you are bathing yourself in life-sustaining oxygen. As you inhale, feel the energy of your breath flowing deep into your body, soothing the central nervous system, reaching every cell of your being. As you exhale, feel the release of energy and notice the calm and satisfied state of the body. With each breath exchange, we become more deeply relaxed and more deeply present. When you are ready, allow yourself to stop breathing intentionally. As you do, notice as your breathing takes on its own natural rhythm. You are no longer breathing. There is just breathing happening. It does not require your effort. Even if you hold your breath, refusing to ever breathe again, you would soon pass out and breathing would start on its own. So simply notice the way in which your body is breathing. Effortless observation. You are no longer doing, but rather you're a spectator. Notice your breath flowing effortlessly in and out. Allow your mind to settle, to relax. Be with your breath. Be restful but not sleepy. Pay attention but not with excessive or restless energy. Rather, hold your mind gently in a relaxed state of awareness. Continue to follow your breath. Again, simply observing, watching, noticing the natural flow and rhythm. And when you are ready, move your attention again to the sensations present in your body. Notice the areas of your body that are making contact with the support you rest on, the chair, the floor, cushion. Feel the contact. Allow that support to hold you, allowing gravity to keep you gently in place. There's nothing for you to do. It is all being done for you. You do not need to sit. Sitting is happening. Simply observe, notice how it feels. Notice your awareness as the body rests comfortably. As you settle more and more deeply into this present moment, as you truly continue to stop doing and just be present, you see how there is nothing to do. It is all being done for you already. As you let go, you notice the arising of pure consciousness. Simple, relaxed awareness. The more you let go, the freer you become to simply observe, to be present. This is you now. As you sit in presence, you may notice how your mind begins to wander. Thoughts about the past or future seem to arise. This is natural. In the same way the lungs breathe, the mind thinks. That's what it does. Allow these thoughts to pass through as wisp of clouds passing through a bright blue sky. Continue to bring your focus to your breath. Calmly notice, without judgment, without changing a thing, just notice. If we allow the mind to wander freely, it will often take our attention out of the present moment. As a result, we may no longer be fully present or fully aware. In this meditation, we are training ourselves in mindfulness. And so for this reason, when we've noticed our wandering mind, we can be grateful for yet another opportunity to bring it back into the present moment. It is the wandering that allows us to recognize our state of mindlessness and thus return to a state of mindfulness. This is our practice. As we become more still and more absorbed into this moment, we let go. We let go again and again. We let go of our expectations about meditation. We let go of our mental constructs of how this ought to be. Instead, we open up to how it is. It is like this. We let go of our need for the experience to be a certain way. It's not like anything. It's just like this. It is not that way, it is this way. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just this now moment. And it's perfect. We are not allowing it to be like this. It already is. It does not need our approval to be any certain way. Our practice is to open up to the awareness of seeing this moment in any now moment for how it actually is. To wake up into the now, the vast, unique now that you are already in. And to see that it's like this. And like this in this moment. And like this as we begin our music meditation. Recognizing in this moment now that there is one presence, one love, one life, one infinite intelligence back of all things. I call this presence God, but is known by many names. I know that the beautiful truth of God is that it is having its being in, as, and through me, that all the magnificent qualities of spirit are my birthright. As I know this to be true for me, I know this to be the truth for each and every living being on the planet. We are one with spirit, one with each other, each having an individual experience of it, each a part of the collective wholeness that God is. I realize in the simple function of breathing, I am having the experience of the thing that breathes me. Breath is the life I am living. I know that in times of feeling overwhelmed or uncertain, I need only to turn within and consciously focus on my breath, becoming aligned with my center, aligned with spirit, aligned with the present moment. This is where peace lives. As close as my breath, God is always in the present moment. I am so thankful for the simplicity of this truth. Thankful for the power within me to turn away from an outward condition, even if it's just for 3 deep breaths. To turn my attention within and know that I am in the presence of spirit, aligned, co-creating, and accessing the peace that is available in this present moment. This is the gift that has been given. It is with deep gratitude and joyfulness that I release my word into a spiritual law that only says yes, knowing that it is done now. I let it be so, and so it is. When you are ready, begin to open your eyes and know that you are fully here now. As we navigate the demands of this coming day or week or month, remember how very loved and supported you are. You are never alone in this journey, ever. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We hope you'll stay tuned for our celebration service at 10:15. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when, or where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Let there be peace. I am a stand God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. Oh yeah. Come on. All right. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me.
Good morning, everyone. I thought that was so beautiful that we might just see it a second time. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living and our Sunday celebration service. We're so very blessed that you have chosen to invite us into your homes this morning. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and privilege of being this community's spiritual director. Our center, the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, is part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. And Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life, a global community of over 450 spiritual centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in 30 countries worldwide. Our community is the spiritual home for a diverse group of people who are seeking a deep and abiding connection with each other and with the God of their understanding. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God. We do this through a sacred and supportive community that welcomes everyone just as they are. Our mission is the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. We do this through celebration, service, study, fellowship, and the energy of unconditional love. Our vision is a world that actually works for everyone. We do this by consciously practicing the truth of our oneness and unity with God in our everyday lives. No matter where you are on your spiritual path, you are always, always welcome here. So I have a few announcements this morning, and the first is, woohoo! If you haven't heard, I am the bearer of some great news. We have a new home. We will be meeting in person as a community at the Lodge at Crossroads, 200 Brisbane Woods Way in Cary. We will be live in person 2 Sundays a month. So the Sundays we will be in the room are September 6th and 20th, October 4th and 11th, November 1st and November 15th, and December 6th and 20th. So put those in your calendars. If something changes, we will let you know enough time ahead of time to be able to make some changes. I mentioned Sundays, September 20th, as one of the days that we will be having service in our new sanctuary at the Lodge at Crossroads. I would like to invite you to mark your calendars for a second important event on that date. We will also be facilitating a community town hall meeting following the service on that Sunday. The Leadership Council and I will be updating the community on all things center. If you are unable to join us and be in the room on that Sunday, the meeting will also be on Zoom. The other Sundays of each month will be facilitated online only, and we will continue to do what we do and bring forward deep and thoughtful messages and music each Sunday via StreamYard. As always, the meditation is at 9:45 and the service begins at 10:15. This is an announcement of the return of the Basement series, part of TCSL Spiritual Education. Beginning in September, we will once again facilitate a class called Living a Surrendered Life. We first taught this class at the beginning of the year, and everyone loved it and felt they grew in their understanding of surrender over the 8 weeks. It is a class that is created by Michael Singer, renowned author, teacher, and speaker. In this course, we will learn about our true relationship to the world unfolding around us and to the thoughts and emotions that are arising within us. But most importantly, we will come into touch with the real you, the indwelling consciousness that is the witness of it all. The intention of this course is to change your entire perspective of life. Each session will challenge you to go beyond yourself. The class will be facilitated over 8 Tuesday evenings from 6:30 until 8:30 beginning Tuesday, September 10th. It will be held in the Raleigh area and facilitated by myself and Karen Daly. The class is $150 and must be paid in full by September 10th. Register at info@trianglecsl.org. We are accepting 10 participants, so I encourage you to register early. Let's talk Gourmets for God. The final date for bidding is coming up quickly, and I wanted to remind everybody about the events that we are bidding on. So for those of you who may be listening today that have never heard about Gourmets for God, it is a community builder and fundraiser that we have been doing for many years. The events are created and hosted by TCSL people. They involve inspired meals and other activities of all kinds. The host registration ended on the 12th of July and the bidding began on July 19th and has been extended to August 23rd. Anyone can bid, and there is no limit to how many events that you can bid for, and you do not need to be a TCSL member in order to participate. So we have 6 events this year. They are described in length on our website, so I please encourage you to go there, but I'm simply going to give a quick brushstroke about them. So we have 6, and they're going to be on the slides, and I'm The first is a bowl bonanza and house concert combo. It's Friday, September 11th. From dinner is at 6 and the concert is at 7. The hosts are Letha and Miles Costin. The location is Blue Jay Point at Falls Lake in Raleigh. There are 25 seats available and the minimum bid is $50. Please listen to this video from a magnificent singer-songwriter that will be playing for us on that date. Jesse.
The sooner you let go, the sooner you make room for something else. Oh, child, let it slide.
Hello, Triangle CSL. This is singer-songwriter Jessie Powers. You may recognize me from some of your Sunday morning live streams. I've also been there in person several times over the years because my brother lives in Holly Springs. Woo woo! Anyway, I'm coming back to see y'all on September 11th this year for your Gourmets for God event. So come on out. I know I've heard there's going to be some really good nosh and it will benefit the center and you'll be supporting independent New Thought artists like me. Actually me specifically, which is great. And anyways, I've got a ton of new music to share with y'all and some really great stories. And so I'm really excited to see you again. And yeah, come out for Gourmets for God on September 11th.
From the western to the east.
Thank you very much, Jessie Powers. If you haven't ever heard her, she is amazing. So please consider joining us for that Gourmets for God event on September 11th. The second event is a movie night. It is Saturday, September 19th. The hosts are Rebecca Fouts and Kyle Morano. The location is in Cary. There are 15 seats available and the opening minimum bid is $30. The movie that they will be showing that night is The Sheep Detective. I've heard it's very good. The third event is called Magical and Mystical Messages from Higher Consciousness Beings. This is Friday, October 2nd from 6:30 until 9:30 p.m. The hosts are Vincent and Eileen Jenna. The location is Holly Springs. Woo-hoo, as Jessie says. There are 10 seats available and the minimum bid is $60. This has always been a very well attended and very well enjoyed event, so please consider it. The fourth is Game Night with Taco Bar. It is Friday, October 9th from 6:30 to 9:30. The hosts are the lovely Heather Abbott and myself. The location is in Cary. There are 20 seats available and the minimum bid is $30. The fifth event is Pizza and Jeopardy with the Carnses. The event is Saturday, November 7th from 1 to 4. The hosts are Diane and John Carnes. The location is the Pittsboro-Farrington Village area. There are 8 seats available and the minimum bid is $30. Small amount of people, that means bid high if you really want to go. The sixth event is a DIY Thrifty Gifts for the Holidays. It is Saturday, November 14th from 12 o'clock until 4 p.m. The hosts are Barbara Kane and Carol Cross. The location is in Durham. There are 10 seats available and the minimum bid is $35. Then comes the events from August 14th through November 15th. Please consider joining us by bidding on one or more of the events. And if you really want to take a greater look at what all is involved, such as the food that they will be serving and such, then please go to our website at trianglecsl.org and check it out. I have already announced that we have a new home and that we will be meeting there as a community 2 Sundays each month through the end of the year. Now, in order to facilitate the service with ease and grace, we're inviting everyone in the community to powerfully step into the spiritual practice of sacred service by volunteering to assist us in the setup of our sanctuary at the lodge at Crossroads. As we have experienced at other locations, we have no storage area at this site. Heather and Reverend Dusty arrive at 8 o'clock to be ready for the meditation, and they need assistance to bring in all of the tables, chairs, AV equipment, candles, coffee and tea, and other essentials into the building, and then to create the sacred space. Please send an email to info@trianglecsl.org, and thank you very much ahead of time for your willingness and your generosity. Appreciate it greatly. This is a save the date announcement for a special ordination ceremony. We will be celebrating the ordination of Reverend Chaplain Jim Rigsby. The celebration will take place on Saturday, September 26th at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Raleigh, located at 3313 Wade Avenue, again in Raleigh. Please RSVP to jimrigsby@gmail.com. That's jimrigsby@gmail.com. As we continue to announce, our 2026 Wednesday evening services have changed. They do, however, continue to be a midweek spiritual pick-me-up. The new concept is called A Year of Value. It is a journaling self-study program in which you will receive a quality each week on Wednesday by email, along with all kinds of resources to grow that quality in your life. By focusing on the many different aspects of leading an exemplary life, we believe it supports participants in making 2026 truly a year of value. To sign up, send an email to info@trianglecsl.org indicating your desire to participate. Before moving on, I would like to thank our beloved Michelle Love for her beautiful meditation. Thank you again, Michelle. And now let's please welcome her back to the stage.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here today. We've got themes. The theme for the year 2026 is open at the top. Our theme for the month of August is the fear and the furious. And Reverend Dusty's message today is fierce clarity, when fear becomes a compass.
Please welcome our beloved Carol Cross, who will be assisting us this morning with our blessing of all people. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors both the truth that we are all created by God out of the same God stuff, and that there is a multiplicity of divine emanations, each individualized and unique in their own way, as represented by this sermon. Whether this is your first time with us or your 1,000th time, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are in the room physically or participating via technology, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether your soul is full of joy and possibility, or your heart is heavy and your mind is consumed with troubles, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are brand new to the science of mind philosophy, or you have practiced it for a long time, or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether your skin, eye, and hair color are a rich, dark shade, or you are the palest tint of color, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are a straight, cisgendered man or woman, or identify with the LGBTQ+ community, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether your politics tend toward the red side or toward the blue side, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you were born and raised in this country or came from a different land, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are married or single or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are in the first third of your life, the third of your life, or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here just
as you are. Whether you feel your connection with God is the driving force in your life, or you aren't sure that you even believe in God, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Each and every color is beautiful, unique, and significant. They all combine together into an amazing whole. Thank you all for contributing your special vibration to today's service and to life itself. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you very much, Carol.
I invite you now to turn within while I speak an invocation on today's service. Please close your outer eyes and turn within. Recognizing in this moment now that there is one life, one power, one presence, one spirit, called by many names, but which I call God. I know that my being, my I am, is created by this one source, having its being in, as, and through me, always available, always active, as near to me as my very breath. Knowing that this is the truth of my being, I know it's the truth for each and every one of us in this thing we call life. That we are each individualized expressions of the divine, each of us containing the light of our Creator. I speak a word of blessing today on our service, knowing that it's perfect and complete in the mind of God. I bless every hand and heart that has come together to make it possible. Heather managing audio visual to reach you right where you are, to the consciousness of our practitioners, to the amazing musical inspiration of Sandy Hemingway, to the message brought forth from Spirit, through our loving and beloved Reverend Dusty. I bless each and every one of us right where we are in this moment. With gratitude and reverence, we allow our service to unfold perfectly, knowing that it is a divine appointment for each of us. We let it be so, and so it is. Our reading today is from Reverend Scott Aubrey. He says, "The idea of living fearlessly is something many people aspire to. Yet a life without fear really isn't the highest mark. As long as we are stretching beyond what is familiar and growing into who we are capable of becoming, fear will naturally arise. Rather than resisting fear or allowing it to control us, we can learn to be with it skillfully. We can listen for the wisdom beneath it, embrace the energy within it, and allow it to reveal the places where life is inviting us to grow. Fear does not have to be an enemy standing in our way. When approached with keen awareness, it can be our ally, a clear sign that we are standing at the threshold of transformation." And now I'd like to introduce our musical inspiration today, Sandy Hemingway. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you. So the song I'm going to do today, I'm sure almost all of you have heard before. It's written by Janice Stanfield and Jimmy Scott. It's called If I Were Brave. What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? If I believe with the wind always fill up my sails, how far could I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread. I never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today If I were brave, what would I do today? If I were brave. What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you do if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of the sea, are the miracles in you and me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread, and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, but the voice of courage whisper in my ear. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave?
Just one of many cheering you on, Sandy. That was an absolutely perfect song choice for today, as you will discover as I move through my message today. Welcome to those of you who may have just turned on your computers or television sets at home. We're so very blessed that you have chosen to join us. The theme for the month of August is the fear and the furious, and my message today is entitled Fierce Clarity, When Fear Becomes a Compass. Now, the underlying contemplative thought is, what if fear isn't a warning, but a doorway to clarity? What if fear isn't a stop sign, but a compass that is pointing us into the highest and best direction? Now, fierce clarity, as the title says, combines two qualities. Clarity, which says, I see this situation as it actually is, and fierce, which doesn't simply mean aggressive or intimidating, but rather it means to bring intensity, courage, and unwavering resolve to what matters. To be fierce doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means choosing to move forward despite the fear. Together, fierce clarity means really cutting through the noise of other people's expectations, our own fear, wishful thinking, guilt, ego, and endless second guessing to identify what is exactly true and important to each and every single one of us. Fierce clarity says, this is what I feel, this is what I know, this is what I know that I don't know, this is what is no longer working, and this is what I will no longer abandon in myself. It doesn't mean that we have all of the answers. It means being honest and willing enough to take the next step. When fear becomes a compass, it begins to point. doesn't always point toward danger. Sometimes it points towards the places where we are most alive, where we are most exposed, or where we are most capable of becoming something new, perhaps becoming what we were created to become. Fear often gathers around the edges of growth, or around the conversations that we've been postponing, or around the dreams that we keep trying to rationalize away, or around the doors that we are afraid to open because then that might mean we have to walk through them. To let fear become a compass is not to follow it blindly. It is to listen closely enough to really discern whether the fear is saying run, or whether the fear is saying this situation, this experience really matters. Sometimes courage is simply turning toward the trembling that we're feeling, taking its hand and saying, show me where I need to go. A student climbed a mountain to ask an old monk one simple question. Master, how will I know when I am walking the right path? The monk handed him a lantern just before sunset and said, carry this to the far ridge. Now the student looked down the trail that he was pointing down and noticed that it quite quickly vanished into the midst. He said, I can't see the whole way. You don't need to see the whole way, the master said. So the student walked until the forest grew quiet. Then he heard some wolves in the distance. His hands tightened around the lantern and he hurried back. The wolves frightened me, he said to the master, and the master simply nodded. But the next evening, the master sent the monk sent the student back out again. This time the student reached the place where he had turned back before, and in that moment, his fear returned back to him like an old companion. But this time, in this moment, he noticed something very strange. He noticed that whenever the trail became steep enough to matter, the fear returned. Whenever the trail demanded balance, the fear appeared. Whenever the view was about to open, the fear came back. At the wide, comfortable stretches, the fear wasn't there. It just simply disappeared. In that moment, he chose to go on, and he reached the far ridge just before dawn. And when he returned, he said to the master, why did the fear wait at every difficult place? And the master replied, it didn't wait for the difficult places, it pointed to them. The student frowned and said, I thought that fear meant don't go. Sometimes it does, the monk replied. When the bridge is rotten, listen. When the cliff is crumbling, listen. But most days, fear is saying something else. What? The student asked. And the monk replied, here is where you stop being who you have always been before. The student looked back to the ridge and said, so fear wasn't blocking the path? The monk shook his head. You mistook the compass for a stop sign. And it said that from that moment on, whenever the student began to feel fear arise within him, he no longer asked, how can I get rid of this? But instead he asked, what is this trying to point me toward? The bottom line is that, a compass doesn't choose the journey or promise an easy path. It only points. And the decision to walk belongs to each and every single one of us. Will we be able to walk it in spite of our fear? A lovely way to think about this is that a compass needle trembles, right? It trembles and shakes before it finally settles. This movement does not mean that the compass is broken. It means that the instrument is orienting itself. Fear can cause that same kind of trembling within us. We may feel unsettled because the fear is attempting to find a truer direction. Sometimes fear points towards genuine danger and it says, protect yourself. Other times it points toward an old wound and says, heal this. And other times it points towards an unlived possibility and says, your next life is in this direction. Fear's clarity comes when we allow that needle to settle before choosing our next action, before choosing our course. Now, I guess if I'm being entirely transparent, this is very similar to what we talked about last week. That fear has a remarkable way of illuminating what matters, and that it can be a signpost guiding us towards greater understanding. Now, for me, it doesn't matter because I think it's important that fear is important enough to talk about it whenever we need to talk about it, because that fear that we refuse to name and refuse to investigate why and how it is present in our lives often shows up directing our lives in silence. That unconscious fear or conscious fear, unexplored, seems to be able to have its way with us. And I personally don't want that to happen. So today I wanted to really be able to expand this understanding by looking at some of the ways that fear shows up in our lives. So I made up my own version of the directions on the compass, the north, south, east, and west. So north is no certainty, or what we would call uncertainty. East, or the E, is the energy of doubt. West, or the W, is worry. And south, or the S, is so much anxiety. Uncertainty, doubt, worry, and anxiety. Something that I know that we have all felt and experienced in our own lives, and probably will again a time or two in our lifetime. So uncertainty, let's start there. Fear often shows up as uncertainty. It's the uncomfortable space of not knowing what happens next, not knowing whether things will work out, not knowing whether we are making the right choices, not knowing whether we will be okay on the other side of the unknown. When we are afraid of uncertainty, we often try to eliminate, and we do this by seeking more information. We do this by asking for reassurance. We do this by analyzing every single possibility. We do this by waiting for a sign that tells us that we can finally move forward. But certainty rarely comes before courage. Sometimes courage is choosing to move without having all of the answers. Fear says you need to know how this will end before you can begin. While faith says you don't need to know how this ends. You are more than capable, more than supported, and you can handle that next step. Uncertainty isn't necessarily a warning that something is wrong. Sometimes it's simply evidence that we are standing at the edge of something that we have never, ever experienced before in our lives. Moving forward in the face of uncertainty requires accepting something that we often resist. And that is that we may never get to know how everything will turn out first. We may never get to know that. And we need to accept that. We don't need certainty to move forward. We just need enough faith to take the next step. How about doubt? Sometimes fear can sound like doubt. It can show up as like, what if I'm wrong? What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? And because doubt sounds rational, we can mistake it for wisdom or for intuition. But sometimes the question isn't really asking for an answer, it's really looking for safety. Doubt wants guarantees before we ever even try. It tells us to wait until we feel confident enough, prepared enough, or sure enough. The tricky part is that doubt can feel like discernment. But discernment usually brings clarity, while doubt just simply keeps moving the finishing line. Maybe later, maybe when I know more, maybe when I am better. Sometimes the most courageous thing that we can do is to recognize the doubt when it comes up within us and say, I hear you. I hear you, but I am not going to let doubt make my choices for me. We do not have to eliminate doubt to move forward. We just have to stop confusing its voice with the voice of truth. Moving forward in the face of doubt doesn't necessarily mean getting rid of the doubt. It means learning not to require guarantees before we act. We're not always going to get them. Worry. Fear sometimes shows up as worry, right? Worry can feel responsible. Worrying about our loved ones, or worrying about the world, or worrying about whatever. Fill in the blank. It can sound like I'm just thinking ahead. I need to be prepared. I'm trying to make sure that everything works out. But underneath all that thinking can be one simple fear. What if something goes wrong? And because worry gives us something to do, we can mistake it for control. We replay conversations, we anticipate problems, we imagine every possible outcome, and we try to solve tomorrow before it's ever even tomorrow. However, the underlying truth is that no amount of worrying can guarantee that everything will go the way we want it to. Moving forward in the face of worry means understanding that we can care deeply without carrying every possible outcome, that we can prepare without obsessing, that we can be thoughtful without living in anticipation, and that we can let tomorrow just be tomorrow. We do not have to solve every possible problem before we allow ourselves to move forward. And then there's anxiety. Fear often shows up as anxiety and not always a clear thought that says, I'm afraid, right? Think about it. Sometimes it feels like this restless feeling in our body. Sometimes it feels like a racing mind. Sometimes it feels like the inability to settle, or the sense that we need to figure out something immediately, right now, or sooner if better. Anxiety takes something might go wrong and turns it into a constant state of readiness. You can feel that. You can feel that in your bodies. So we try to get ahead of it. We overthink, we check, we rehearse conversations, we imagine every possible outcome, we seek reassurance, we try to control things that may not actually be controllable. And the more we try to eliminate the feeling, the more we can reinforce the message that there must be something to fear. Moving forward in the face of anxiety doesn't mean waiting until we feel calm enough, certain enough, or confident enough to act. It means learning that we can move forward while anxiety is present. One other thought that I have around anxiety is that anxiety can sometimes be so intense and so persistent that it feels overwhelming and difficult to manage on our own. When it interferes with sleep or relationships or work or school or everyday life, it may be that additional support is needed. We don't have to wait until anxiety becomes unbearable for us to ask for some assistance. Seeking a professional is not a sign of weakness, but actually an expression of courage and an expression of really deep self-love. So know that that is present and available. A useful way to think about all four of these ways that fear often shows up is that clarity doesn't always come from thinking harder. I've done it, I know. Sometimes it comes from separating what is known from what is unknown, from separating what is feared from what is actually within our control. When something is uncertain, the invitation is to ask, what do I know and what do I not know? Uncertainty becomes overwhelming when we treat the unknown as though it were already a negative outcome. How many times have we done that? Standing here, thinking ahead into the future, knowing that we cannot know the future, but making it up and making up something that we don't like. If we're making it up anyway, then why don't we make up something that we're going to like? So the invitation is to get clear on the known. What is factual right now? Get clear on the unknown. What can we genuinely not know? Get clear on what's next. What is the next choice or action available to me? We may not be able to eliminate the uncertainty, but we can become clear on how we are going to respond. When we doubt something, the invitation is to ask, what specifically am I doubting? If you think about it, doubt can be very vague. So we're encouraged to bring it into the light. Clarity comes to us when we turn the I don't know if this is right into a specific question that can actually be answered. Not something more vague, but something specific that can actually be answered. When we worry, the invitation is to ask, is this a problem I can solve or a possibility that I am trying to control? So we're encouraged to really ask that and to see if there is something that we can do, then we need to identify the action. If there isn't, continuing to think about it may create the feeling of doing something without actually changing anything. We're just spinning our wheels. Clarity often comes when we stop asking what if and start asking what can I do? What can I do? When we feel anxious, the invitation is to ask, what is my anxiety trying to tell me, or what is it trying to convince me of? The bottom line is that anxiety is a very real experience, but it does not always demonstrate an accurate prediction. What might be anxious, we might be anxious because something genuinely requires our attention. Or we might be anxious because something matters to us or feels unfamiliar or is outside of our control. Instead of asking, how do I make this feeling go away? Ask, what is actually happening right now? And then to distinguish between the feeling and the story that we are telling ourselves about that feeling or about the situation. A simple clarity practice when we are caught in doubt, uncertainty, worry, or anxiety can be to ask ourselves, What do I actually know? What do I not know yet? What am I afraid of might happen? And what is in my control right now? Once we have asked and answered those questions for ourselves, there's one final question to ask. And Sandy sang about it today. What would I choose if I didn't need a guarantee? What would I choose if I didn't need a guarantee? And the answer is important because sometimes we're not actually looking for clarity, we're looking for certainty. And certainty may not always be available, but clarity can be. In the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Indy and his father set off on a quest to find the Holy Grail. Toward the end of the story, Indy's father is ill and is actually dying, and only water from the cup of Christ can save him. There's just one big problem. And that is that Indy must weave himself through 3 life-threatening puzzles. The final test is the most difficult. He must take a step in faith across a ravine. There's no footbridge. There's no rope ladder, just this huge chasm that falls into nothingness. Indy steals his courage and demonstrates his faith by stepping out. And the moment he takes that first step, a bridge appears beneath his foot. And the way is made clear. Fear is not the villain of our story. It is a veil that sometimes conceals our deeper truth. And when we approach fear with spiritual curiosity and a willing to listen, its presence can become a compass to fierce clarity. Often that clarity lies on the other side of our fear, and all we have to do is to take the next step. I encourage us all to do that. And so it is. And so it is. So I invite everyone to close your outer eyes and turn within as I speak a word of prayer to really embody the message. So with my eyes closed and my attention turned inward, I am aware of the power and presence of the divine, that creative energy that created everything there is, seen and unseen. That power, that creativity, that wisdom, that understanding, that courage, that peace, that joy, that love is within me. It arrived on the planet with me. And there's nothing that can separate me from it except my own thinking. And just as I know that this is my truth, I know that it is absolutely the truth of each and every person listening in real time today or listening later to the recording. It is the truth of each and every sentient being on the planet with absolutely no exception. Each and every single one of us is a unique and divine expression of God. A God that is willing and able to support us, to guide us, to love us. And it is from that unity, that deep connection, not to God, to life, and to each other, that I speak these words about and for each of us today, truly knowing that there is a way that we can really investigate our fear, that we can allow ourselves to take a look at it before reacting, to explore it before trembling and turning away, to allow ourselves to really understand whether it is telling us that there is actual danger ahead and that we need to listen and need to pay attention and need to do what we need to do, or is it simply pointing like a compass would point to a space that may challenge us, to something that is a bit outside of our comfort zone, that is really asking us to become something more, something higher, something more expanded, to become that which we were created to be. So I claim ease and grace for us around living that life, around taking the time to explore our fear. What is the uncertainty saying? What are we afraid of? Why do we need to have that kind of certainty? And then to work with that, to do the inner work, to really heal whatever that is. What are we doubting? Could we have more faith in ourselves, more faith in the divine, to have the faith of God, knowing that we have that kind of creativity in our own lives, that kind of power we have in our corner? What are we worrying about? Is it really something that we can control, or is there simply no amount of worrying that can make whatever is happening unfold in exactly the way that we want it to? Perhaps it is unfolding in a way that is even better, more magnificent, more right and perfect for everyone involved. And to know that that anxiety, whether it is a small amount or a large amount, that we have the opportunity to get some assistance with it or to move forward even in the presence of it. Fear doesn't have to remain with us. It doesn't have to be a warning. It doesn't have to be a stop sign. It doesn't have to be something that is in our path, but merely a compass pointing to our highest and best. I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes, that my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken. And so I speak them and I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. And I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you all so very much. So it is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. And this is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to continue to be a beacon of light and warmth in the greater Triangle area. Together we affirm the truth that this offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. There are several ways that you can give, and they're here on your screens or on your computers or televisions. You can visit our website at trianglecsl.org. You can text the word give to 919-629-9148, or you can send a check to PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. So I invite you to turn within as I speak a word of blessing on this offering, knowing that the process itself is an opportunity to stand in an expanded view of all of the ways that we are abundant, and to focus our attention on all of this abundance by being willing to share and to give some of it away. That by recognizing our good and being willing to give some of it away, we enter into the law of circulation and participate in the powerful flow of the universe. I know that as each of us enters into this eternal flow of giving and receiving, that the gift we give comes back to us, the blessing and the blessed. are one. Thank you all for your gift, and I thank God for the gift of each and every single one of us. And now, please welcome the amazing Sandy Hemingway back to his piano.
Thank you, Dusty. So during COVID, which I'm sure you've all forgotten, there was a lot of fear. But during COVID, I sat down and I wrote a piece of music, and it was the first thing I'd written in quite a while at that point, and I was really happy with it. And at the time, I was exchanging a lot of emails with Amy Steinberg, and so I sent her a music file so she could hear what I had written. And I was surprised when, like, a few hours later, she sent a music file back where she had written a verse and a chorus and sung them on top of the music that I had sent. And I took what she had done and I added a second verse and a bridge, and this song came out. I think it's perfect for the message that Dusty shared today. It's called Butterfly. When the seasons come to pass, turn my wings and fly so fast, so high. Ride the wind. When it's time I hear the cold listening, I fall up into what will be. Don't ask why, I just enjoy the ride. And when it's time, I rise like a butterfly. Like a butterfly, I ride the wind. Again. Like a butterfly, like a butterfly, ride the wind. Again. When I feel that I am alone, like my heart has turned to stone so hard, I go high. When I close my eyes and breathe deep inside, I finally see the truth. Change will come. I don't ask why, I just enjoy the ride. And when it's time, I rise like a butterfly. Like a butterfly, I ride the wind. Again. Like a butterfly, like a butterfly, I ride the wind. Again. Every life is a cocoon which we have spun. Every day we must decide, or will we slumber in the safety of the same, or spread our wings and dare to fly. just enjoy the ride. When it's time, I ride like a butterfly, like a butterfly. I ride the wind again, again, like a butterfly, like a butterfly. Ride the wind again, again. I do not understand why I'm still the one on the screen. I will say I'm eternally grateful for the chance to share all my musical gifts with all of you.
Well, that was interesting. Nice little pause there. Okay, butterflies, are we ready for our August 16th affirmations? Please, in the comfort of your own home, stand for the affirmations. It's a call and response, so please repeat it with meaning. I affirm that the presence of fear is a catalyst, sharpening my attention and marking the edges of my becoming. It is precisely at these boundaries that my most profound evolution is possible. Therefore, I allow fear to awaken me and to ignite my highest aspirations.
Allow fear to awaken me and to ignite my highest aspirations.
I affirm that fear is a valuable indicator, signaling areas of my life that require attention and growth.
I affirm that fear is a valuable indicator, signaling areas in my life that require attention and growth.
It is precisely in these moments that I am invited to step out of my comfort zone and into new, uncharted territories.
It is precisely in these moments that I am invited to step out of my comfort zone and into new, uncharted territories.
Therefore, I choose to explore my fear and discover the clarity that is present as I do so.
Therefore, I choose to explore my fear and discover the clarity that is present as I do so.
And so it is. Now, if you would all join me for a benediction, please turn within, closing your outer eyes. In gratitude for the message received today, for the spiritual compass of fear working towards our transformation, For the love of each other, far and wide, we are thankful. May each of us discover a new aspect of our growth in spirit this week and roll it out to the world around us in the form of love and joy. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your consciousness. Be well. Until we meet again, thank you.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you, Heather, for all of your work behind the scenes. Thank you to everyone's flexibility and patience as we got it together a little bit. You just never know when you're going to get kicked out of something, and we got kicked out of something. Gratitude to Sandy for his beautiful and perfectly chosen music for today. To Michelle for her beautiful meditation and her powerful prayers, and to each and every single one of you for being here with us. I'm so very grateful for each and every single one of them. And I believe that we have some comments that are coming up. I know that Carol Cross is here watching us this morning. Rebecca is here this morning. And the Ludwells, both Amy and Martin, are here. I'm so grateful for everybody's presence. Jean Rogers is here. Thank you so very much for joining us today. And Jamila, hello, Jamila. Thank you for tuning in. It was nice to know you're out there. And that, the Flannerys, yes, the Flannerys are here once again with us today. Thank you very much for the whole family's presence. I love it that you're out there. The Krupas, good morning. Ed and Susan, as Jesse would say, woo, woo. And Susan says, and so it is. And so that's the truth. And so it is. Thank you all. The Jenna's, Eileen, Jenna, yay. Good morning, all. Thank you for being there. Perhaps there's a few more. The Carneses, shouting out love to all of our friends online from John and Diane. Diane says love to all. And okay, that might truly be it. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, for being a part of the service, because energetically you are, no matter how many miles or how much time is in between. So I'm very appreciative of everyone being there. I love you all. Have a magnificent week, and we will see you online again next week. Have a great week. Love you.
Thank you.